Plaintiff Scott Jordan was married to the defendant, but he claims their marriage didn't last long because he caught the defendant cheating. Scott is suing his ex-wife for unpaid taxes. Defendant Kelly Poprosky denies ever cheating on Scott and insists their marriage fell apart because Scott was addicted to online gambling and was financially irresponsible. Kelly denies owing Scott for the unpaid taxes.
Prove your case.
Well, Your Honor, we are here today because my ex Kelly, she cheated on me, and now she's trying to cheat the IRS, and I'm the one that has to pay for it. I met Kelly back in 2003. We dated roughly 4 years. We got married in 2007 and then separated in 2008. I suspected infidelity, and one night Kelly was supposed to be working late, and I was off early and doing my thing, and I stopped by a bar near our house. And lo and behold, I see her in the bar with some guy.
It's not true.
And I was like freaked out. I really should have calmed myself and tried to call her. That way I could catch her in a lie right there, but I didn't. She confronted me and said, "Oh, you're embarrassing me. I'm just having a drink with my coworker."
What were you saying?
Oh, I was like, "This is my wife. Don't you see she has a ring? Who are you?" I didn't know who the guy was.
What was the response?
He didn't say anything. The security was grabbing me immediately because I ran over there.
Okay.
I was not calm. And so she said, you need to get out of here. We're just having a beer after work. And I was like, okay, I can understand that. That's fine. So then the next instance, her work phone rang, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. And so I answered. I said, and he goes, "Is Kelly there?" And I go, "Who's this?" And he goes, "Oh, I've been dating her for 3 months." And I was like, wow. And I go, "Have you been to my condo?" And he's like, "Yeah, you have a lower level." And I go, "Didn't you notice these photos of us together?" And he's like, "Oh, she said that was her roommate and that she's been separated from her husband for 3 months." And I was like, "Oh, God, well, have you been with her sexually?" Because that was a big deal to me. And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, tell me something you would know only if you've seen her naked." And he's like, "Well, she has a scar right here that she had when she was a kid." And I was like, all right, this is crazy.
Let me stop you and hear from her.
You know what? He's all this is lies just because he's trying to sue me for taxes both of us owe.
Ma'am, please, listen. You said everything he said was a lie.
Yes.
So let's go over the lies that you alleged.
Yes.
Did he ever approach you at a bar with a man after work?
The only thing that is true is that I was
you said everything was untrue.
No.
So did he approach you with a man after work?
He did approach me with a man after work.
Secondly, at 9 p.m., secondly, did a man call him, to your knowledge, at 9 p.m.?
No.
All right, so has it ever been discussed to your knowledge that another man came into the condo?
No.
All right, this is your first time ever hearing it?
Yes.
This is your first time ever hearing these allegations?
Yes.
So why did you divorce?
We divorced strictly because he's financially irresponsible.
Okay, so
and this falls right in line with the case. No, I left him because he's got an online gambling problem. I was the primary. We bought a condo together. Mm-hmm. I was the primary on the mortgage. I have proof right here. We signed off together.
Describe to me when you all decided to divorce, the conversation, the event.
I said, "Scott, I want a divorce. I don't see there being any end to your financial irresponsibility, period."
All right. She says she's never heard in her life these allegations that you are making.
Okay, well, the final nail in the coffin for me, and which totally proved in my mind that there was infidelity, is at this point I'm going crazy and just thinking something's going wrong.
She says you've been crazy if you're making this stuff up. Not going crazy, you've been crazy. You're making this stuff up. You're imagining
things. So then
things.
I searched her car and I found a championship baseball college ring with her coworker's name on it. And I have a championship ring from football, from college. I didn't even give it to my ex-wife, so I could only imagine this guy giving his ring was a pretty big deal. And so after that, we ended up divorcing in 2009.
Now you tell me the incident of determining the divorce.
Well,
Where were you at and who said what?
She initiated everything. The finances were a big problem ever since we bought the condo.
Who initiated the conversation about divorce?
Kelly did.
And what did she say she wanted to divorce for?
Because of finances.
Okay, so otherwise you would have stayed with her.
Yeah.
So this boyfriend stuff either is made up, like she says, or you didn't have a problem with him coming over to the condo.
No, I did,
exactly.
For sure.
He turned
You didn't have enough of a
cheating.
problem. You didn't have enough of a problem with it to ask her for a divorce over that.
Not at the moment. No.
Okay, so you admit that what she said is true, and that is she asked you for a divorce regarding your financial irresponsibility.
I agree that the finances were for her.
So how do we get to the issue of her owing you unpaid taxes?
Okay, well, in 2008 was the last year we had to file taxes together. And so she was primary on our tax return. And so in 2010, in May, apparently the IRS had sent her an amended return. And I didn't know about this return. So then in December of 2010, she finally told me, hey, Scott, we got a tax bill from 2008. And so I was unaware of this. And I said, please mail it to me so I can take a look and see why we owe this money. I didn't get anything. And finally, February 8th of 2011, I received the third and final notice, which I have here, which has my name on it, but it has her Social Security and everything on there.
You see it? What does it say? Indicate?
It's just the third notice showing that we owe the money. And so I was the adult, and I called the IRS, and I was like, why, can you let me know why we have this bill? Why do we owe it? So they faxed me a 10-page document that described why the bill was amended. And this is when I find out the primary reason that we owe this tax money is from a 401k disbursement that she took out of her work, which was counted as unreported income. And so that's why we owe this money. And so I told her, I go, Kelly, we need to pay this immediately. The due date's the 10th and today's the 9th. I sent in my tax return already, so the federal government would hold my portion and apply it towards that bill, even though I'm not primary. And then we'd still owe the remaining balance, and I didn't want to pay fees. And so she said, well, I can't afford to pay the whole amount now, but can I work out a payment? I'll pay you $300 a week from Friday. A week from Friday comes, nothing. I go, Kelly, I have the check's been cleared, it's been paid. I go, how do you want to go about paying this? Nothing. So then I was forced to contact an attorney and have a demand letter sent to her. She texted me back acknowledging that she received the letter, yet she sent return to sender to my attorney, which I have here in her handwriting, even though she did get the letter and she acknowledged it in text messages.
All right, now did all this occur before or after the divorce?
This was all after.
No, Your Honor, 2008 was the last year the year he's stating, 2008 was the last year we filed joint taxes because we were legally still married, and he took initiative and said that, oh, I'll take care of the taxes, I'll take care of all the paperwork, we'll file it jointly so that we both benefit from having the condo still
you said
as a
that
tax break.
Before the divorce?
It technically, before the divorce was finalized, the divorce was finalized in 2009. Mm-hmm. These were taxes from 2008, and he was well aware that I took out a 401k loan because I had to move out of my house.
Was the judge well aware when he gave the divorce?
I'm sorry?
Was the judge well aware?
We didn't go to court.
Did you have an order that divided the assets and determined
No, we drew something
financing?
up on paper between us and signed it, but we didn't do anything in court.
Did a judge or a court clerk?
No.
No.
Notarize it? No.
I had to turn in the paperwork.
I don't think y'all have a divorce.
I have the paperwork here. I had to
y'all
file.
Still married.
I had to file the paperwork.
No,
you can't do that.
The divorce
you just
is
can't
final.
have an inside agreement.
The divorce is final.
That's not how divorces work.
Okay.
That's not how divorce works, man.
No. I filed after, even though she's the one that wanted to get married, I'm the one that filed.
Do you have a court order
right
saying you all are divorced?
Yes.
Let's see the order.
I filed.
Now, once again, did the divorce judgment address the debts?
No.
No.
All right. And you say you were ordered to pay after the divorce.
Correct.
You say it was accumulated before the divorce, so it should have been part of the divorce. Is that what you say?
Well, it's from 2008 taxes. We were technically still married. We filed jointly that year, so it's addressed to both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But I never benefited from that money she took out of her 401k.
Well, I didn't benefit from you living rent-free in the condo for a year.
I had to pay home association and take care of the dog you abandoned.
Oh, wow, awesome. You didn't pay the freaking mortgage for a year. That's awesome. I had to move out of my own house where I was the primary.
See what happens when you don't get a judge to determine who gets what and who pays what? That's why people need, if you have any bills or any assets or any money that has been paid in recent perhaps years, you need a judge to say who's going to pay what or who owes what. And you all didn't get that. You want to make me that judge. And I'm not, this is not divorce court.
Right.
And these debts should have been included. So go back to this court, that's what you have to do, and file an amended divorce request. And then in that amended request, you say, Judge, this wasn't taken care of. We have something that is a result of something that happened during our marriage. And since it happened during our marriage, or it was a consequence of our marriage, Judge, we need you to clear it up and tell us who owes it. Case dismissed. You have a good day.